Welcome back, Oliver Jeffers. Oliver Jeffers is fab. You probably know, he's pretty well known. Hopefully you'll be familiar with some of his work. Lost and Found, The Incredible Book Eating Boy, those ones, lots of fun. This one, The Heart in the Bottle, I wasn't familiar with it. I just plucked this off the library shelf because I knew Oliver Jeffers, and it caught me completely by surprise. I was absolutely struck by it. It's a beautiful, poignant, heartbreaking story. And I really recommend it to you wholeheartedly. It looks great. Oliver Jeffers is a fabulous illustrator, absolutely brilliant. It's in his kind of typical style, lots of kind of watercolor, crayon, collage, there's lots of different things going on. Look at this beautiful double page spread of the main character, the girl, swimming in the ocean, the lighthouse and the different, absolutely beautiful, stunning, looks absolutely fabulous. But what's really precious and special about it is the story it tells of how this little girl responds to the death of her grandfather. Or at least, doesn't say death necessarily, the disappearance of her grandfather. She has this wonderful relationship with him. And he explains everything to her, and they go off through the journey, walking through the woods, swimming in the sea, flying kites, exploring, and she takes delight in finding things new, exploring the world. Her head was filled with all the curiosities of the world. And there he is, Grandpa, in his chair, talking with her about all these wonderful things. So they have this wonderful relationship. And then one day, with questions in her mind, she runs off to find him, and all she finds is the empty chair. I don't think you can see it. There you go. And her response to that is to put her heart in a safe place, just for the time being. And she puts it in a bottle and hangs it around her neck. Nothing is the same from that point on. She forgets about the stars. She stops talking and taking notice of the sea. She's no longer filled with all the curiosities of the world and didn't take much notice of anything. And here she is as a grown-up, still with her heart protected in a bottle, thinking of the empty chair, mournful, bereaved, grieving. She's aware of how troublesome the bottle is, the heart in her bottle. It gets in the way of her. Literally, when she's trying to wash up, cook, eat. But I suppose, metaphorically, it gets in the way of her being able to live a full life. Her protected heart, her heart encased in glass. Until eventually she decides to get rid of it, but she can't. She tries everything. There's pictures of her with a hammer, dropping it off the wall, saws, drills, everything. She can't free her heart. It's been in that bottle for too long. She's grown accustomed to feeling numb to the world. But then she meets a girl, a child, and the child knows what to do. She takes the heart from the bottle and gives it back to the girl. The heart was put back where it came from, and the chair wasn't so empty anymore. And here she is, the woman, childlike, reading, her mind, her imagination blasting off on its journeys. Her curiosities about the world reawakened. The chair wasn't so empty anymore, but the bottle was. What a poignant book. Just this poor child's response to, I'm guessing, the death of her grandfather, to withdraw from the world, to put up barriers, which I guess so many people do, children do, adults do, when bereaved, and how that response, that barrier, that protective barrier, perhaps necessary at the start, soon becomes a problem. It stops people from engaging fully with the world, numbs them, desensitizes them, makes it impossible for them to live fully. And it's the love of a child, or the curiosity of this other child, that frees her. An incredible book. And please, don't think, oh, you should only read this if you're, about to be bereaved or you've just lost somebody. It's an incredible book just to get people talking. I read this to my girls and they read it. They found it very sad. They found it upsetting, so they didn't really love it. But we did nevertheless have some really interesting conversations about it. So whilst I wouldn't say they enjoyed it, it was certainly a book that they found interesting and stimulating and allowed us to talk about why this girl feels the way she does. So don't be afraid of that. Kids might not enjoy it. I don't necessarily enjoy it. It's just sad, it's upsetting, but it's thought-provoking at the same time. So do try and track this down. Oliver Jeffers, The Heart and the Bottle. Absolutely superb. Cheerio. Bye-bye.